Hey folks, continuing on with the camera lens covers today. Well, first off, I am going to use that tool that we made here. Try this tool that I made. Oh, I didn't make it. It's already sprayed carbide. I just ground that edge off to get inside. But I got to put it in a holder. So I'm just looking at my holders here, and this cutter that's in here, you can see this holder has a little notch in it right there. So I mean, this tool works in this holder, but this holder is meant for something that utilizes that notch, more like something round. So I'm going to take that tool out of there, put it in this one so it doesn't have a notch, and put this boring bit in here. Now you can see the holder with the notch in the bottom to support the round tool, and that one doesn't have a notch in the bottom. So they're in the right holders now. See, that one has a notch in the bottom too. So technically I should put that cutoff tool in this one, but until I need another notch bottom one, I'll just leave it as it is. Okay, so where's my part? Right here. Going all out today with the blue shop towels. The white ones do have a tendency to leave little particles behind. So again, the piece is half an inch, thereabouts. So I'm going to go in with this bit 3/8 of an inch. So I'll set this to 1 inch right there, and I could use this dial. And if it was a precision part, I would use that dial, but it's not a precision part. We'll line that up with 1. Put it in. And we'll go in 3/8. I'm not doing a pilot hole, don't need it for this. We're going straight enough. 1/8. 3/8. 3/8. But anyway, what I was getting to is I'm using a carbide center cutting end mill in a chuck. And the reason I'm doing that is just to make things a little quicker, so I don't have to remove this and do everything. If this was a precision part, what I would use is, where is it? What I would use is this. That's a MT4 collet chuck, and I'd get the 1/2 inch collet in there. Those collets look like this. So I'd use the collet. That's not a 1/2 inch, I think that's a 3/8, but I put that in there and then put the bit in there. And this is that would make for a lot more precision hole than maybe not a lot more, but at least a little bit more of a precision hole than with the chuck. Partly because there's more mechanical parts in the chuck, and this is just generally more rigid. But for what we're doing today, the chuck is good. Again, I want to go in 3/8. See where I am here. I'm going to set that then to, press that up. And set that to 1 inch right there. And then I can just dig it in 3/8. One, 8, 2. Clear that crap all the way, so get bound up. And 3/8. You can see a little bit of aluminum caught in those grooves right there, but it's alright. We want to get in there with that tool that we just mounted. This one. See how it performs. I do want to get some rough measurements on this. I just want to measure how deep, approximately how deep that is. So 90,000, about 90. So remember, it's 3/8 inch deep, and I want to leave a what was it, 1/8? No, only about a 1/16 inch ridge on the inside. So 1/8. See if it's dry. See if that's reasonable. I gotta center this thing a little bit better. So I'm just turning this in to get that tool bit close to center right there. That's so it drops in. I mean, you can do this, lock it, but I don't want to do that every time. That's pretty good. So zero out the arrow. Zero in the X direction, touching bottom. Turn it on to zero this one. Don't have to, I'm going to. Zero on the Y. And let's see if my numbers are approximately correct. That was zeroed in the X. And if I bring it out, let's say 0.222. That'll bring it to there. So 222 in the X. I don't know if you can see, but that should cut and leave me about a 16th of a ridge on the edge. So give it a go. Oh, and I want to cut, well, first I got to cut the whole thing out because the hole's not big enough. It's at 1/2 inch now, and I want to go to 5/8. And the camera itself is 35/64 metric. We went 9/16. You know what? 5/8 is good. I'm gonna go with 5/8. Okay, I take 1/8 off, so I got to take a cut of a 16th of an inch. So 62,000. There, but by the eye, do that. An inch. And there we go. I usually do my parting the manual. I have to try it. You know, with aluminum, especially with aluminum, it binds up. I like the control of being able to take it off See right there. I let it bind up too much and broke the bit. Hope I have some more of those. I just wasn't paying enough attention to it. Let me see if I have a new bit for that. No one left. Yeah, I do go through a few of these. Look at that. Shattered it right in half. Like lengthwise. I'll have to look up what those are. Alrighty. So let's be a little more gentle with it. Just that was my last bit. I break this one and I got the hacksaw going. Go very slow with it. That ridge was. Hello, Moose. Hi, buddy. You got gook all over your head here from it's not dead creatures. Doesn't smell like dead creature anyway. Moose, I never really spent a lot of time teaching moose tricks, but you saw if you watched any of my hiking videos, or I think I only have one posted, but you can see how well they are behaved in the forest. So I've focused on trail manners and hunting skills. Tricks and stuff like paw and sit and that kind of thing, I never really focused. Let's see how he'll sit anyway. Look at that. Where'd you learn that from? You didn't learn that from me. Eh? I guess that's pretty basic though, isn't it? When I say trail manners, what I mean is I don't know if I've ever captured that on hiking videos because you're not normally turn the camera on when there's other people around. But what I mean by trail manners is when we're walking down the trail, when we're hiking down a trail, the dogs, when they see somebody coming, what I've trained them to do, instead of approaching that person, they come back to me. I don't even have to say anything anymore. They just come back to me. And then I bring them off the trail, stop and stay, because you never know how the other person feels about dogs. And I have them off leash. And it's a privilege to be off leash. And I said this to people too, when they comment on their behavior. Oh, there's Milo. I guess Mr. Milo saw that Mr. Moose got his feet, or Professor Milo saw that Moose got his feet, and he's wondering, where's my treat? Professor Milo, you can have a treat, but this is the second one of these. These soft ones, if Milo has more than two of these, diarrhea. Moose can eat them all day. Look at that. I didn't even have to tell you this. There you go, buddy. You can have another one, because you're skinny. But anyway, back to the story there. What I mean by trail manners: someone's coming, and the dogs see them coming. They go away from that person back to me, so I bring them off the trail, and I tell them to stop and stay, and wait for that person to pass. And I'd say 4 times out of 5, the person stops, comments on the behavior of the dogs, etc., name, exchange, and they ask if they can say hi to the dogs, and they do. Now, on occasion, if that person has another dog with them, when Moose was young, this was a problem. If the other person had a dog with them, Moose would not come, he would not stay, he'd want to go play with the dog. And I don't want him to do that because I don't know how the other dog's going to behave, and I don't know how the owner's going to react. So now he's getting much better. The only time that he approaches the other dog, if it's I don't know, he senses something about the dog and he wants to approach it. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. But when I call him, he comes back, and he's getting better. I mean, he's not even 2 years old, so. But anyway, got that angle on it, so. I think I'm going to try this one. Obviously a lot more rigid. Probably do a deeper cut with it. That fits. X0. Get a Y0. Oh, you see a bar fly? About right there. Did we get the whole depth in one cut? Going. I think we did. Yeah, right. So there we go. 620. That will do. Boy, that was a lot faster too. Didn't quite get the whole depth though. Look in there. All right. Now I slightly suspected that that hole. I don't know. Maybe this hole is explaining than the other hole. But if it's deeper, then I don't want to part it off and get into that 0.44. So it is a little bit deeper. This is 0.375. I got to shorten that a bit. Good. Last couple have gone a lot faster, but like a lot of things, once you get really good at it, So you get the swing of it. You don't need to do it anymore. But on the right side, Lucy and Maya will usually come around, vacuum, or they hear me sweeping. Because they've learned that usually when I'm doing that, we'll soon be on to something else. Soon be on to something else. Likely involves doing something with them. Right, Myrtle? Ready? Me too, Martha. Tool train. Okay. So at the end of projects, what I'm going to try doing is a review of the tools that were used, or the majority of the tools that were used. I'll probably forget some for that project. Okay, so we started off with bit here. Well, you saw that I used my chop-off saw. Chop-off saw over there to cut the aluminum nice and crooked. And then we put it in, placed off the edges with that cutter. That's a six-sided carbide insert. Then we have a knurling tool. And then we use this chuck, MP4 chuck with this bit, with a pilot hole. And we use this carbide roughing end mill, enlarge the hole. Then First one we did, we used the threading tool to bore the inside and make the inset bore. The second one we did, I very ground this tool inside, but the grinding here has made it very loose and it actually bent. So it was a little laborious to do that cut. Then what we found worked on the third and fourth version was this boring tool. Only problem was the depth of cut in was great. It did took off a full 1/8 inch. Cut out, make that inner hole. It's only cut that deep. And fit here. But next time, it's really more important what I have to do is angle it like this, pull it in and out, so there's enough room to maneuver it. And what else? Then you cut off here, tool. And other miscellaneous tools, of course, like calipers, digital calipers, to work well for things that are not necessarily super surprising. Oh yeah, and I use this live center here as well during the knurling, because there's a lot of pressure on there during the knurling process. And the basic chuck key, grinder. And that's it for tool train.
So I'll just leave you with a track here. Moose and Milo down at the creek. And Milo was on to a rat that he saw run into that tree stump in the water. And Moose is a little bit reluctant to get in there, but usually he waits by the edge to see if Moose or if Milo flushes something out. Really fun to watch. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Thanks. Bye now.
Getting cleaned off. Good.